You know, many of us are trying to eat more vegetables to boost our health, which is fantastic. But, and this is a big but, our choice of dips and dressings can sometimes sabotage all those good intentions. It's true that vegetables offer essential nutrients and antioxidants. However, certain additions can pack in excessive calories, unhealthy fats, and sugar. This can unfortunately negate the wonderful benefits of the veggies themselves and even impact our blood sugar levels. Top 5 dips and dressings that ruin healthy veggies. Number 1, full-fat ranch dressing. Ah, ranch dressing. It's such a beloved staple in American cuisine, isn't it? Its history actually dates all the way back to the 1950s. With its creamy texture and versatile flavor, it didn't take long for it to become a super popular choice for salads, a dip for vegetables, and even as a condiment for all sorts of dishes. It really has become a fixture in so many households. Now, when we take a closer look at its nutritional profile, full-fat ranch dressing can actually be quite concerning. Get this, a typical serving size of just 2 tablespoons can contain anywhere from 130 to 140 calories. And this calorie count mostly comes from its high-fat content, which is often around 14 grams per serving. Plus, it has significant sodium levels that can contribute to blood pressure concerns, and that's especially important for individuals who are managing diabetes. To really put this into perspective, consuming those 130 to 140 calories from just 2 tablespoons of ranch dressing is calorically equivalent to the energy you'd expend during a brisk 1.40-mile run. It's a pretty stark comparison that highlights just how quickly calories can add up from what seem like small additions to our meals. If you take an even closer look at the ingredient list of most commercial full-fat ranch dressings, you'll see why it's so calorie-dense. Common ingredients often include soybean oil as the primary fat source. Then there's cream or buttermilk for that richness we love, and also various forms of sugar that contribute to its overall caloric load and can impact blood glucose. So you can see how adding full-fat ranch dressing can significantly alter the nutritional landscape of an otherwise healthy vegetable snack. That high fat and calorie content can easily overshadow the low-calorie, nutrient-rich nature of the vegetables themselves. This turns what could be a light snack into a heavier, less beneficial choice, especially if you're managing weight and blood sugar. But don't worry, there's good news. Fortunately, there are healthier alternatives to traditional ranch dressing that don't compromise too much on flavor. You can look for light or fat-free versions in stores, but do be mindful of added sugars or sodium in these. Another great idea is using plain Greek yogurt or blended cottage cheese as a base. These can also create a wonderfully creamy texture. And even better, creating your own lighter ranch dressing at home is actually quite simple. Just blend plain Greek yogurt with a splash of low-fat milk or buttermilk. Then add some fresh herbs like dill, parsley, and chives, along with a pinch of garlic powder, onion powder, and a squeeze of lemon juice. This homemade version significantly cuts down on fat and calories, and it even provides a nice protein boost. Number 2, mayonnaise-based dips. Mayonnaise, which is the foundation for so many creamy dips, is essentially an emulsion of oil, egg yolk, and an acid, like vinegar or lemon juice. Nutritionally speaking, it's very high in fat and calories. In fact, just 1 tablespoon can pack around 90 calories and 10 grams of fat, mostly coming from the oil. And despite that high calorie and fat content, traditional mayonnaise offers very little when it comes to essential vitamins, minerals, or fiber. This makes it a calorie-dense food that doesn't really contribute significantly to your daily nutritional needs. That's a key consideration, especially for those who are focusing on nutrient-rich diets for managing diabetes. You'll find that many popular vegetable dips, like creamy spinach dip, artichoke dip, or certain aiolis rely heavily on mayonnaise as their base. And while they are delicious, these dips unfortunately inherit the high fat and calorie characteristics of mayonnaise. This makes them less than ideal for regular consumption, especially when you're pairing them with healthy veggies. That creamy allure of mayonnaise-based dips can so quickly transform a healthy snack of raw vegetables into an unhealthy one. The added fats and calories can easily lead to exceeding your daily intake goals. This could potentially contribute to weight gain and also make blood sugar control more challenging. But just like with ranch, better alternatives are readily available. You could consider using reduced fat or light mayonnaise if you really prefer that traditional taste, but want fewer calories and less fat. Olive oil-based mayonnaise can also offer a slightly better fat profile, focusing on those good monounsaturated fats, although portion control is still really crucial here. Here's a fantastic tip. A great way to lighten up mayo-based dips and spreads is by substituting part or even all of the mayonnaise with plain Greek yogurt. This simple swap not only reduces fat and calories, but also adds protein and probiotics, which really enhances the nutritional value of your dip. And for some other simple, healthier alternatives, you could try blending silken tofu with lemon juice and herbs for a creamy, protein-rich base. Another wonderful option is to mash avocado with lime juice and seasonings. This creates a dip that's full of healthy fats and fiber, offering a much better nutritional return than traditional mayonnaise. Number 3, store-bought creamy dips. When you start examining the common ingredients in commercial creamy dips, you'll often find a really long list. This list usually includes various oils, modified food starches, and a whole range of emulsifiers and thickeners. These are used to achieve that desired texture and shelf stability, but the downside is they can dilute the nutritional value. And speaking of hidden things, hidden sugars and food additives are frequently present in these packaged options. Sugars might appear under all sorts of different names, and additives like MSG, artificial colors, and flavors are often used to enhance taste and appearance. This can be quite concerning for health-conscious individuals, and again, especially for those managing diabetes. Preservatives and artificial ingredients are also common in store-bought dips, mainly to extend their shelf life. Now, while these are generally recognized as safe in small amounts, a diet that's high in processed foods containing these components can certainly diminish the overall nutritional quality of your intake. Here's something else to watch out for. Serving size confusion. This is a common issue with packaged dips. The nutritional information provided is often for a very small 2 tablespoon serving, yet it's so easy to consume much more than that. This can lead to an unexpectedly high intake of calories, fat, and sodium, which, as we've discussed, can impact blood sugar and blood pressure. Be aware, too, that marketing tactics employed by food companies can sometimes mask the unhealthy aspects of these dips. You might see phrases like "made with real vegetables" or "gourmet," and these can create a sort of health halo, distracting you from the high fat, sugar, or sodium content that's actually listed on the nutrition label. And if you're thinking about cost, price-wise, homemade alternatives often come out cheaper in the long run. While a container of store-bought dips certainly offers convenience, making your own from simple, fresh ingredients can be more economical. Plus, it allows you to control exactly what goes into it. So, what can you do? Well, reading labels carefully is absolutely crucial when choosing store-bought options. Pay close attention to the serving size, calories, total fat, especially saturated fat, sodium, and sugar content. A good rule of thumb is to look for dips with shorter ingredient lists and recognizable whole food components. Now, if you must buy pre-made, some brands do offer better choices. Try to look for dips based on yogurt, hummus, or white beans, and always check for low sodium and no added sugar labels. It's best to prioritize those with clear, understandable ingredient lists. Number 4, high sugar BBQ and sweet dipping sauces. The sugar content in many store-bought barbecue sauces and other sweet dipping sauces can be surprisingly high. It's really not uncommon for these sauces to list sugar or some kind of sugar derivative as one of their primary ingredients. And this, of course, contributes significantly to your daily sugar intake if you're not using them sparingly. You'll often find high fructose corn syrup, or HFCS, as a prevalent sweetener in these types of sauces. That's mainly due to its low cost and intense sweetness. The thing about HFCS is that it's metabolized differently than regular sugar, and it has been linked to various health concerns. This includes a more significant impact on blood sugar levels, which is absolutely critical for individuals with diabetes to manage. Consider this. On average, just 2 tablespoons of a typical BBQ sauce can contain anywhere from 10 to 16 grams of sugar, plus a considerable amount of sodium. This can quickly add up, especially if you tend to use it generously, contributing to excess calorie intake and those potential blood sugar spikes. It's pretty clear that the consumption of these sweet sauces can directly affect your blood sugar levels. That high concentration of simple sugars is rapidly absorbed into the bloodstream, leading to a quick rise in glucose. And that, as you can imagine, can be problematic for maintaining stable blood sugar control. Sometimes we pair vegetables like carrots, bell peppers, and even sweet potato fries with these sweet dips. And while the vegetables themselves are perfectly healthy, dousing them in sugary sauces really negates many of their benefits and just adds empty calories. Something else to think about is that regular exposure to overly sweet sauces, and this applies especially in childhood but also for adults, can impact our developing taste preferences. It can lead to a greater preference for sugary foods overall, making it much harder to appreciate the natural sweetness of fruits and vegetables, or to choose less sugary options in general. But, as always, there are solutions. For homemade versions, natural sweetener alternatives can be used in moderation. Think about using small amounts of pureed dates, unsweetened applesauce, or even a touch of honey or maple syrup, though these should be used cautiously by those with diabetes. These can provide sweetness without you having to rely on refined sugars or HFCS. And you'll find that healthier sauce recipes can still maintain fantastic flavor without all that excess sugar. For example, you could consider making a tomato-based BBQ sauce using delicious spices like smoked paprika, chili powder, and garlic, perhaps with just a very small amount of a natural sweetener. Or why not explore mustard-based or vinegar-based sauces? These are naturally lower in sugar. Number 5, salad dressings with hidden ingredients. Commercial salad dressings frequently contain problematic ingredients that can really undermine an otherwise healthy salad. Beyond just the obvious fat and sugar, you should also look out for artificial flavors, colors, preservatives, and thickeners that offer absolutely no nutritional value. It's also important to know that there's a significant difference in fat content between cream-based dressings, like Caesar or blue cheese, for example, and vinaigrettes. Those creamy dressings are typically much higher in calories and saturated fats. On the other hand, oil and vinegar-based vinaigrettes, while still calorie-dense from the oil, often offer healthier unsaturated fats, especially if good quality oils are used. Sodium is another major concern in many store-bought dressings. A high sodium intake can contribute to high blood pressure, which is a common comorbidity with diabetes. And be warned, even dressings marketed as healthy can sometimes be packed with salt to enhance their flavor. Those marketing terms like light or fat-free can also be quite misleading. While it's true that light dressings must have at least 25% fewer calories or 50% less fat than the regular version, they often compensate by adding sugar, sodium, or artificial ingredients to maintain the taste. So it's crucial to always check the label carefully. It's quite astonishing, but dressings can easily double or even triple the calorie content of an otherwise healthy salad. Imagine, a large salad packed with fresh vegetables might only be a couple of hundred calories on its own. But if you add several tablespoons of a rich dressing, you can quickly add hundreds more calories, along with those unwanted fats and sugars. So, understanding proper portion sizes for various dressing types is absolutely key. For most dressings, a serving is just 1 to 2 tablespoons. It can be really helpful to use a measuring spoon, at least initially, to help you visualize what an appropriate amount looks like. This can prevent that all too easy overpouring. The good news is that the basics of DIY salad dressings are actually very simple and healthy. All you need is a good quality oil, like extra virgin olive oil, an acid, such as vinegar or lemon juice, and your choice of herbs and seasonings. This simple combination provides healthy fats and wonderful flavor, all without those hidden additives. And there are so many simple recipes for nutrient-dense dressings that are easy to whip up. For instance, you could try whisking olive oil, red wine vinegar, a touch of Dijon mustard, and some minced garlic for a classic vinaigrette. Or, for a creamy and healthy alternative, blend avocado with lime juice, cilantro, and a little water. Enjoying your vegetables really doesn't mean you have to sacrifice flavor or douse them in unhealthy concoctions. By simply being mindful of your dip and dressing choices, you can maintain all those wonderful nutritional benefits your body needs while still satisfying your taste buds. The key is to choose lighter, homemade alternatives, or if you do use traditional options, just use them more sparingly. We'd love to hear from you. What's your go-to healthy dip for veggies? Please share your favorite recipes in the comments below. And if you found this information helpful, we'd really appreciate it if you'd share it with others and subscribe to our newsletter for more nutrition tips and healthy eating hacks. Remember, your journey to healthier eating starts with small, sustainable changes.